everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Kat, and for today we're going to be doing another speed reviews. So I have 5 different brands that we're going to be talking about today, and oh man, there are some definite awesome favorites and there are some pretty bad ones. So we're just gonna jump right in with the first brand. So I have the Evil Mermaid palette from Klarity Cosmetics, and this is one of the, I think one of the only ones that they have that is this 9-pan style. The majority of theirs are larger, like elongated 10-pan palettes. So I thought that was really interesting, and this is the color story on the inside. Very nice cool toned blues and lilac shades. Really like that color story. It is super pretty. I felt like the look turned out really nice. This is what it is. Very much like a teal, kind of smoky type of look. I will say that the longevity of Klarity Cosmetics eyeshadows for me is not super good. Like, it usually lasts long enough for like really pretty Instagram photos, and then after that the shimmers especially are already starting to come off, and that's even if I use a spray with it or a primer. Like, it still kind of moves around. So unless you use like a solid glitter glue, you're not going to get longevity from the shimmers, but they are absolutely gorgeous. So I will go ahead and swatch for you guys. Get off my tail because it is such a pretty shimmer. Look at this. It is so gorgeous. Really nice kind of teal blue. Oh, just so gorgeous. And even from back here, look at that reflect on there. So the shimmers are absolutely gorgeous. This one even has like a little bit of like a pink undertone to it, so depending on how the light catches it, you can see just ever so slightly some pink thrown in there with the blue. But really nice. It's just, you have to use other products with it, especially like a glitter glue would probably do you best, because even just a setting spray doesn't keep the longevity on there. But they are, if you can get them to stay, they are absolutely stunning. I will also swatch Murky Waters for you guys because this is just a super stunning deep blue. Look at that shade. So gorgeous. Definitely has some purplish undertones to it. Really beautiful. So I would say this is a little bit of a duochrome, that it goes from a nice sea blue into a royal purple. Very pretty. And again, just such nice shimmers. They are definitely more on the crumbly side, and so that might have something to do with the longevity on there. But if you're willing to use a glitter glue, you're gonna get a really nice look. And the matte shades, they're not my favorite as far as formula goes, but they're a solid formula. Like, I mean, you can see very nice and pigmented, just not quite as pigmented as I like. I mean, we can tell I like a lot of pow. But it still ends up being absolutely gorgeous looks. And so if you enjoy the shades, by all means, I would say get it. They do also have the Apocalypse, I think is what the new palette is that they just recently came out with. Absolutely stunning. And I will definitely say the packaging, they really know how to design a beautiful palette, and the color stories are always absolutely gorgeous. And so if you're willing to put in just that little bit of extra work, I would say it's worth it. So next up we have from Bella Beaute Bar the Poison Garden 2 palette. And this is the first palette that I've ever picked up by Bella Beaute Bar, and I really enjoyed it. They have a ton of different formulas on here. This is a really nice like range of shades on here. You can do so many different looks with this, and the shimmers definitely have a whole bunch of different consistencies. You've got satins in here, thicker marble shades, really nice metallics, some duochromes, so just a ton of different options. And then the matte shades are also really nice as well. They were a little bit more pastel as far as like the opacity goes. It took a little bit of time to build up, but you can see on this look, once I built it up, it was really nice. And so I thought it was a great first palette for me to try out from them. I will go ahead and swatch Bitterweed, which is one of the duo, maybe multichrome shades. I think multichrome. Really nice chrome style consistency on there. Goes between a light lime green into a deeper evergreen, into kind of a nice teal blue. Very, very nice. Really good opacity, has that solid black base to it, and so you're really able to see the chromy nature of it. So really, really enjoyed that one. There's a ton of different consistencies. The Mountain Laurel shade is your more marble, chunky consistency, so I will swatch that for you guys so you can see the difference in the formulas on there. You can definitely see how much more flaky this guy is, but look at the amount of foil on that guy. That is so stunning. Goes between like a really nice yellowish green gold into a blue, and so just absolutely stunning on there. So I really enjoyed that about the palette, that there were so many different formulas to work with, so it gave me a lot of options to play around with. And so because it's fall, I had to do a fall look, and I really like how it turned out. I think the colors were absolutely stunning. They blended together really, really nicely, and I mean, for the amount of shades that I got and the different consistencies, the palette was not super expensive at all. So I thought that was really, really awesome. And they do have another palette that they just came out with for Halloween, and that's the Strange and Unusual palette, and it looks so, so good. I definitely picked up the pre-order, so if you guys haven't grabbed it yet, I would see if, I know they were doing like another pre-order, like I think they were on the second round of pre-orders, because it flew off the shelves, and so I would highly recommend checking them out. They also came out with a 6-pan highlighter palette recently that's more like duo multi-chrome with the highlighters, so that's super pretty. I think it's the Oracle palette. So if you guys haven't checked out any of that stuff yet, I would definitely recommend checking out their shop, because I'm definitely planning on picking up more from this brand. I've been super impressed so far with this first palette that I grabbed, and so definitely check them out. Then we have the Monteverde palette from Nomad, and it is so colorful. Look at this. All of the colors. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love it. I mean, if you were wanting all of the bright neon shades, this is a really awesome palette to get. Not only am I wearing the matte shades on my eyes right now, but this is another look that I did, so you can really see the range of the greens, reds, oranges, all of that. I have the purple shade under my eye, just in the little bit of the corner there, and I lightened it up with the River Trail shimmer that we have on there. But such a beautiful palette. I really love how easily blendable the matte shades are, and so this is definitely becoming one of my favorite matte formulas. I already love Nomad Cosmetics, but like the last few releases that they have had have just been so good, and so I am so excited to be using this palette more. Let me go ahead and swatch Magical Mist for you guys. I can definitely tell that my swatches have a certain color theme right now because I am really liking greenish blues. So you can see this guy, really nice, kind of understated metallic on there. Starts off as very light, and you can easily build this guy up. So there you go, really nice, kind of lighter teal blue, and then goes into a little bit darker because of the grayish base that it has on there, but just a really beautiful color. I think this guy with that, ooh, like even these 3 shades, you can tell I'm really into the teal kind of shades right now, but just absolutely gorgeous. And then I will also swatch Green Mountain, which is one of the shades that I have on in the eye look on there, because it is just, look at this green. Oh my gosh, it is such a stunning green. Look at it. Oh my gosh, I love it. That is such a pretty shade. Oh my gosh, not quite evergreen, not quite green, like a grassy green. It's just in between with like a hint of blue. So pretty. And the shimmers also layer really nicely, because again, they are not super pigmented right off the go. You can easily build them up though to become more pigmented if that's what you're wanting, to build up the opacity on there. I like to use a setting spray along with it. Really just makes them go pow. And so that's what I did in this look. And I think this color story is just so pretty. Ooh, I can't, this yellow and then like these pinks, like I'm not a fan of pinks normally, but they spoke to me, and so I was like, I gotta use them all over my face today, and so that was what I did, and I just absolutely love it. I think it turned out really fun, so I would highly recommend this palette. Also, if you missed it, they came out with their fall palette, which is the Hudson Valley palette. I did a live stream for that on Friday, and so if you just check my videos for Friday, you can see that all about that guy. We swatched everything. We also did 2 different eye looks on my eyes, and so they have just been absolutely crushing it lately. I don't know what it is, but it seems like Nomad's been coming out with palettes like every month or every other month lately, so if you were wanting to test them out, now is the time, because they have really been coming out with some absolute amazing palettes. So highly worth it. And then I also wanted to talk about some shades that I had picked up from Menagerie Cosmetics, these 6 right here. And I actually have 2 of the shades layered on top of the Nomad matte shades. So you can kind of see a little bit of that shine that I have going on top of my lid. And it does shift a little bit, and so I think it was, let me see here, this guy right here, which is the Aloxal shade. That is what I have on the inner half of my eye. We will swatch that guy so you can see what I'm talking about. And then the other shade that I went with was Arc. And that is this guy right here. So you can see really beautiful shades, but let me go ahead and swatch a couple of them for you guys so you can see without any influence of other shades how they go. But they are so soft and creamy. This is the axolotl that I have on my inner half of my lid. Huge pink base to it with some really nice gold and then kind of purple shimmer on top. So you can really see that purple on the top half and then the gold on the bottom half. It is just such a gorgeous shade. Really, really nice and very little work to apply. I mean, I absolutely loved it. I'm like, look at that shine from far away. Oh, so pretty. And then I will also swatch Hailstorm for you guys. I was so torn on which ones I wanted to use, but I really wanted to focus on the pinks and like purples from the Nomad palette, and so I skipped over using all of the green and blue multichromes. But oh, look at this guy. Starts off where you think it's pinkish purple, then it goes into a yellowish green, and it has that beautiful blue base to it. Oh, so pretty. I love it. And again, look at that shine. So if you use a setting spray with this, oh my goodness, the amount of pop that you're gonna have on your eyes. Oh! So the multichromes are definitely well worth it from Menagerie. And as we know, Menagerie has one of my absolute favorite formulas for their mattes and their shimmers. So seeing that their multichromes are just as good is like all things Menagerie for me. But that being said, let's go ahead and move on to the final brand, which was not great. And that is Betchy Beauty. I grabbed the 10 shades that they had in their Halloween shade release last year, and then I also grabbed a holographic shade right there, and it did not go well. From the very beginning, when I ordered the shades, it was not super great, to when I received them, to when I actually tried to use them. Not great, just all around. And so let me go ahead and break it down. First off, it took forever to get the products. I think it was borderline 4 months that it took, which is not super off-putting for me because I am used to that with brands like Cleona and Terra Moons, where you're doing pre-orders, they do take a while. And so I was kind of like, oh, okay, that's fine, especially if they're handmade, which they clearly are. I get it, where that would take a while. And so that wasn't a huge thing, but like I do wish that they would like specify that more, because they did specify that there would be a delay, but they didn't say it would take 4 months. I think it was like 2 to 3 months that they were saying max. And so the fact that it took 4, I was like, well, just say you'll get them when you get them then. Also, they are very expensive. They are definitely up there in cost with like Cleona, and I'm like, yeah, that's a lot to live up to if you're gonna ask for that kind of price. So I got them, and they look very, very pretty in the pan. However, they are not good quality at all. And I know sometimes we say, okay, maybe it's skin dependent or I'm not using it right. No, like, let me go ahead and swatch the hollow shade first for you guys. They are also so dry. Like, I don't know if it was just like that the amount of time that it took to get to me was because they just had them sitting on a shelf completely out in the open, but so dry. So this is the hollow shade. And we know I go hard into the pan, so let me really go hard in and build that up as much as possible. It is gray. With like almost no hollow to be seen, so just gray. Very, very patchy. I mean, on my finger, even there, it's not very shimmery. It's a very muted, dull kind of shade. You can see a little bit of the holographicness of it, but not by much, and it's just such a dull gray shade that it really kind of mutes it. So I was not pleased with that one. And then let's get into the Halloween shades. So I will pick out the ones that I felt like looked the best. So here's the yellow one, and it is very nice, but again, super dry, super chunky. This is the Franken Shadow shade, and it says that it's supposed to be a chrome hybrid. It's definitely not chromey. There's not a whole lot behind it. It just looks like a standard yellow metallic. And so it's more so just like the cost and the level of quality of the shades for what they're advertised as being that kind of bothers me, because if you're gonna say that something is something, then I want it to be that thing. So that's kind of my frustration. And then two of the shades look identical to me, and so I don't understand what the point is in having them, and so I will go ahead and swatch those two for you guys. We have Buffy and Sabrina. Those are the two shades, and they are supposed to be different, but I find that I cannot tell the difference on here. So first, you can definitely see, because of how dry everything is, it's extremely patchy and hard to build up to where you get a good swatch on there, but you can sort of see a little bit of like some pinkish magenta shimmer in there, but it's primarily showing up as a black shade and very, very dusty. Like if I blow on it, first off, it goes everywhere. And second off, you lose almost all of the glitter that is in there. And so at that point, then it's just a black shadow. So let me go ahead and swatch the other shade that is supposed to be different. You guys tell me what the difference is. Again, very, very chalky, dry, patchy. I blow on it again. Again, aside from maybe this being a little bit more grayish black and this one being more black, I don't know, like, I see no difference between those two, and they are equally not great quality. So it's very, very frustrating to me, because in the pans, they do look very, very nice. I mean, these shades look gorgeous, but you can see just how like dusty they are in the pan as far as like the fallout goes. Like, these are the two shades that I swatched where you can very clearly see this one's supposed to be more red based. This guy is supposed to be more like goldish based with the sparkles. This one just looks straight black, but it's so flaky because of how dry it is, and you can see the holographic shade. I mean, it is just, it looks almost like cement. And the yellow shade just gets absolutely everywhere, and so any of the shades that I was trying to use would just go absolutely everywhere. Like this green shade looked beautiful in the pan. Again, very high level of fallout. And then when you swatch it, I am like, tell me how, aside from a slight green tint, that is any different than these two. It is just not great at all. And I mean, you can tell, like, if I go over a swatch multiple times, it's supposed to become more pigmented, like it does with all of these guys. These, they just rub away. There's no longevity to them. And so it just, like, the look that I tried to do ended up just being an absolute mess with like streaks everywhere. And so I couldn't even take any pictures with it because the stuff went absolutely everywhere. I tried using setting sprays and it just almost washed the pigments away. And so I literally, I didn't even know what I was supposed to do to try and apply it because it was just, is an absolute mess. Like, they are not good quality. And so I was really, really disappointed because it cost a lot of money. And so, yeah, I feel like they're just a waste. And so I'm pretty bummed. I would love to know from you guys if any of you have picked up anything from Betchy Beauty and had a different result. Again, I don't know if it's just because it took so long and maybe they just had the stuff out for too long, but I feel like I shouldn't need to add a hydrator to my eyeshadows. Like, I shouldn't need to remix them to get them to a quality that's actually usable, you know? And so if they dried out that quickly, like, I feel like that's more so on the brand than me needing to fix that. So I was very disappointed. And you can just, I mean, like, look at that green one. I did not go in hard and it is just flaking absolutely. They're just, they get everywhere and they're not good. Like, I don't normally talk negative about brands all that much. I like to just focus on good ones. But since I was trying this one out as a new brand, I was hoping that it would be nice and it just was not. And so I just want to let you guys know, like, purchase at your own risk. Like, if you like them and you think the shades look pretty, give it a go. But I can tell you that for me at least, the quality was not good and I'm not going to be buying from them again. So, but that is it. I would love to know what you guys think of everything. What did you think of all of the looks that I came up with? Have you guys picked up any other palettes from Bella Beaute Bar? Have you guys grabbed any of the new Nomad palettes? I know a bunch of you guys were tuning in for my live stream and were saying how excited you were to get your Hudson Valley palette. So I cannot wait to see some of the looks that you guys are coming up with. What did you think of the Klarity Cosmetics Evil Mermaid palette? Have any of you guys grabbed that, or have you grabbed their new palette, the Apocalypse one? Have you tried that one out? I am super excited. It was supposed to arrive soon, and so I am very much looking forward to that. And the Menagerie multichromes, very nice. And so I am just, I love Menagerie so much. And so I think I'm probably towards the end of the year, I'm going to do a top 10 of my all-time favorite indie brands for you guys, so that you know what my absolute favorite formulas are, and they're definitely going to be in there. So let me know what you guys thought of everything. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if not, as we always do here. And if you made it to the end of the video and you have not yet subscribed, I would love it if you would join my family on here by subscribing. We talk a ton about indie brands, talk about really colorful makeup, and we do all kinds of swatches of everything so you guys can see exactly what the best shades are. And if that sounds like fun for you, I would love it if you would join us on here. And other than that, you guys just go have a good one.